Would U.S. re-entry into the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, really hurt or curb China and in turn benefit us in a trade war against them? So the mainstream media and establishment politicians would have you believe.
That TPP could actually be a geopolitical tool has often been suggested against China.
And it's designed to make sure that the future of the Asia-Pacific region economically is not totally dominated by China.
It is simply ridiculous to suggest that the TPP will hurt or curb China when more than half of the TPP countries, Australia, Brunei, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, Singapore, and Vietnam, are negotiating their own separate free trade agreement with China, the RCEP, or Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. In fact, the U.S. has already granted the communist regime Permanent Normal Trade Relations, PNTR. You may have heard of this by its former designation as Most Favored Nation status. And the U.S. has been in talks with China since 2008, negotiating the details for a U.S.-China Bilateral Investment Treaty, or BIT. On top of that, former Secretary of State John Kerry even invited both Communist China and Russia to join the TPP during an interview on Russian Mir TV. During the past presidential election, then Governor of Indiana and Republican Vice Presidential candidate Mike Pence admitted the Chinese government's interest in joining the TPP.
When I was in China last year, they were really interested in being a part of TPP. I met with the vice premier over there, and he made it very clear they'd like to be a part of that deal.
Furthermore, under the regional leadership of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC, China is working toward the establishment of a much larger free trade agreement for the entire Asia-Pacific Rim, the Free Trade Area of the Asia-Pacific, FTAAP. The proposed FTAAP would include all 21 of APEC's member countries, among which are all of the TPP's 11 remaining nations, plus the United States, China, and Russia. As a matter of fact, the final point of the two-page preamble of the TPP agreement itself reads, quote, "expand their partnership by encouraging the accession of other states or separate customs territories in order to further enhance regional economic integration and create the foundation of a free trade area of the Asia-Pacific." Page 51 of the globalist pro-One World Order Peterson Institute for International Economics book entitled Understanding a Trans-Pacific Partnership, in the 6th chapter, revealingly entitled Moving from TPP to FTAAP, reads as follows, quote, "The current TPP architects envision building an eventual FTAAP on the comprehensive foundations of the TPP Accord, with other APEC countries joining the pact in coming years through an accession process similar to that provided in the World Trade Organization for new members." In fact, Chapter 30 of the original TPP agreement opens TPP membership to APEC member states, among which is China. Article 30.4 of Chapter 30 of the TPP agreement reads, quote, "any state or separate customs territory that is a member of APEC and b. such other state or separate customs territory as the parties may agree that is prepared to comply with the obligations set out in the agreement, subject to such terms and conditions as may be agreed between the state or customs territory and the parties, and following approval in accordance with the applicable legal procedures of each party and acceding state or customs territory." Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. As I state in my article published on the New American, the TPP is not designed to contain China. It's designed to converge with China, specifically through expansion and establishment of an FTAAP. the TPP is merely a first step toward a wider and more regional, expansive FTAAP. To expose the deep state and the political news establishment's perpetuated lie that the U.S.'s entry into the TPP would somehow stop China, the John Birch Society has created a federal legislative alert warning both the President and Congress against joining both the TPP and its proposed intended long-term FTAAP. Links to our TNA articles and the JBS Action Alert will be provided in the description. Reporting for TNA News, this is Christian Gomez. Good day and good night.